Imagine this. The sun has just disappeared beyond the horizon. Darkness swallows the land and the only light you see flickers from the cold, distant stars. You're alone, barefoot, with nothing but the clothes on your back. In the distance, a low growl cuts through the silence. The air smells of wet earth and fire smoke, though you have no fire. The predators of the Ice Age are awake, and you're the easiest prey. Could you survive until dawn? The last light fades from the Ice Age sky, and with it goes your sense of safety. In the Stone Age, night was not just an inconvenience, it was the most dangerous part of the day. For early humans, every sunset meant a gamble with death. Picture it, you have no flashlight, no phone, not even a match to strike. The night is black, heavier than anything most of us have ever experienced. Even the stars, sharp and endless above you, offer no real comfort. Every sound matters. A crack of a twig, a rustle in the brush, the sudden silence of birds, each could signal something moving, something watching. And in this world, predators own the dark. Lions larger than those we know today, cave hyenas with bone-crushing jaws, saber-toothed cats that stalk silently before pouncing, all of them see better in the night than you ever could. To them, you're not just another animal. You're slow, clumsy, unarmed. You are an opportunity. But danger didn't only come from teeth and claws. The psychological terror of isolation was just as lethal. Fear paralyzed the body, kept you frozen when you should run, made you reckless when you should hide. Early humans knew this fear well. It kept them alive, but it also shaped their behaviors, forcing them to adapt in ways modern people rarely consider. This is why fire wasn't just about warmth or cooking, it was about survival. A glowing flame was a shield pushing back the darkness. Without it, humans were helpless. But tonight, you don't have fire. You don't even have tools. All you have is instinct. So the question becomes, how do you survive the long stretch of hours between sunset and dawn, when the Stone Age turns into a hunting ground? Survival begins with one decision, where you put your body. In the Stone Age, shelter wasn't luxury, it was the line between life and death. If you stayed exposed on the open plain, you were announcing yourself as prey. The smart move, find cover. A cave mouth, a cluster of rocks, even a tree you could climb for the night. But each choice came with risk. A cave might already belong to a predator. A tree could protect you from lions but leave you shivering in the cold wind. Safety was never guaranteed. It was only a calculation of lesser dangers. Next, you need light. Without fire, your vulnerability spikes. Early humans carried glowing embers between camps because once the flame died, starting a new one took precious time and skill. Imagine fumbling in the dark, striking stones, hopping for sparks while hyenas circle closer. Fire was more than heat. Its crackle warned predators. Its smoke masked human scent. Its glow gave courage against the shadows. Without it, every sound becomes a countdown to disaster. Then there's the question of staying quiet. Unlike modern campers who hum, talk, or play music, silence was survival. A single cough or crunch of footsteps could betray your location. That's why Stone Age groups huddled close together, listening more than speaking, hearts pounding in sync with the night. But if you're alone, like in our thought experiment, your options shrink. You'd have to ration your energy because panic burns calories fast. You need to conserve warmth by curling tight, covering yourself with leaves or grass if you could find them. And perhaps the hardest part, you'd have to resist the temptation to run. Running blind in darkness could break a bone or lead you straight into a predator's jaws. For early humans, surviving the night wasn't about strength. It was about patience, resourcefulness, and instinct. But for you, dropped into this alien world, every moment would feel like a test you weren't designed to pass. You found a place to hide. You've tried to stay silent. But now comes the real battle, time. The hours between midnight and dawn stretch endlessly, each one heavier than the last. At first, your senses stay sharp. Every rustle in the grass sets your heart racing. Every snap of a twig makes you grip a rock tighter. But the longer you sit there, the harder it becomes to tell what's real and what's in your head. Was that growl close, or just your stomach twisting in fear? Did something move in the shadows, or is your mind inventing shapes in the dark? Predators know this better than you. A lion doesn't need to rush, it waits. A hyena packs circles, testing, listening for weakness. You realize that out here, you are the fragile one, The thought alone is enough to make your chest tighten, your breath shallow. Fatigue creeps in next. Your body begs for rest, eyelids heavier with each blink. But sleep is betrayal. To close your eyes is to surrender control, and you know instinctively. The moment you relax, you're done. Early humans solved this problem by leaning on one another, some watching while others rested. Alone, you don't have that luxury. You drift in and out, trapped between shallow dreams and jolts of terror when a sound snaps you awake. The cold bites deeper now. Muscles cramp, shivers shake your body until your teeth ache. You curl tighter, desperate for warmth, but the ground leaches heat from your skin. The night feels endless, a test designed not just to break your body but to shatter your mind. And then at last, a faint glow touches the horizon. It's not safety, not yet, but it's hope. And hope is sometimes the only thing that gets you through the night. The night tests not just your courage, but your biology. Strip away the modern world, no jackets, no walls, no electric heat, and suddenly your body feels frighteningly fragile. The cold comes first. Ice Age nights weren't mild. Temperatures could plummet enough to sap energy within hours. Without fur or layered clothing, you burn precious calories just to shiver and stay warm. Hypothermia doesn't announce itself with drama, it sneaks in. Your hands stop working properly. Your thoughts grow sluggish. Eventually, the urge to simply lie down and rest feels irresistible, even though it's a slow march toward death. Then there's hunger. Modern people rarely face true starvation, but Stone Age humans lived in constant cycles of feast and famine. A night without food was common for them. For you, after only a few skipped meals, your focus wavers, muscles weaken. The brain becomes frantic, craving energy it doesn't have. Out here, weakness isn't just uncomfortable, it's an open invitation to predators. And fear is the loudest challenge of all. We think we know fear from horror movies or dark alleys, but those are safe imitations. In the Stone Age, night was absolute. No lamps, no neighbors, no emergency number to call. Just the abyss of darkness and the knowledge that something out there can see you, even if you can't see it. Your adrenaline surges, heart pounding, breath shallow, every nerve wired for danger. But adrenaline is double-edged. It sharpens your senses, then leaves you exhausted and shaky once it burns out. Now imagine the difference for an actual Stone Age human. Fear was familiar to them, almost routine. Their bodies had adapted to the cold, their minds trained to read the night. They didn't panic at every rustle, they understood which sounds meant danger and which didn't. While you'd be spiraling into panic, they'd be conserving energy, staying calm, and waiting for the right moment to act. This is the truth of survival. In the Stone Age, nature didn't forgive mistakes, and modern humans, stripped of comfort, make plenty. Surviving the night was never just about endurance. For our ancestors, it was about learning, adapting, and eventually transforming fear into progress. Every terrifying hour in the dark left behind a lesson, and those lessons shaped the path of humanity. Take fire, for example. At first, it was a fragile tool, something to guard and protect, but soon it became more than survival. Fire turned into community. Families and tribes gathered around the flames, not just for warmth, but for stories, planning, and teaching. The night, once a predator's realm, slowly became a human one. Then came tools. The sharpened stone wasn't only for hunting, it was a defense against the unseen. A branch turned into a torch, a rock into a weapon. The same instincts that made fear unbearable also pushed innovation. Humans weren't the fastest, strongest, or most fearless species, but they were the most inventive. And there was something else, maybe the most important adaptation of all: each other. Alone, a night in the Stone Age was nearly impossible, but together the odds shifted. Shared warmth, shared watch, shared courage, community itself was a survival strategy. Over time, those bonds deepened into culture. Around campfires, humans built trust, told stories, passed knowledge, and imagined futures beyond survival. So while the night tested the body, it also forged the mind. The hunger, the cold, the fear, they weren't just obstacles. They were catalysts. They pushed early humans to become more than animals reacting to danger. They became thinkers, planners, dreamers. And that is the great irony. A modern person dropped into the Stone Age might barely last a single night. But a Stone Age human, shaped by these challenges, laid the groundwork for civilization itself. So the question lingers, could you escape a night alone in the Stone Age, or would the Stone Age escape you? Imagine the first rays of dawn breaking after a night like this. The world shifts from black terror to pale gold. Predators slink back to their dens, shadows retreat, and suddenly the danger feels survivable. For early humans, that sunrise wasn't just a relief, it was proof that they could outlast the dark. But each sunrise carried something more: opportunity. To gather food, to strengthen shelters, to explore, to prepare for the next night. Over generations, these repeated cycles of fear and endurance began shaping something larger than simple survival. They began shaping civilization. Think about it. The same fire that warded off predators also forged tools. The same shelters built for safety grew into permanent dwellings. The same circles around flames, once for keeping watch, evolved into circles for storytelling, planning hunts, even forming belief systems. The challenges of the Stone Age night didn't just harden humans, they forced them to collaborate, to innovate, to imagine. This is why modern humanity exists at all. Our species didn't thrive because we were the strongest or the fastest. We thrived because the knights of the Stone Age demanded more. They demanded memory, to remember where predators lurked. They demanded foresight, to prepare food and fire in advance. They demanded imagination, to see beyond danger into possibility. In a way, every skyscraper, every city, every invention is built on the backbone of those endless nights where survival meant invention. Dawn wasn't just light on the horizon, it was the first spark of progress. So when we ask, could you escape a night alone in the Stone Age? The truth is bittersweet. Most of us today would not. But because our ancestors did night after night, generation after generation, we live in a world where the dark is no longer feared. The night tested them, and because they passed, civilization was born. A single night in the Stone Age was more than a battle against predators and cold. It was a battle against time, fear, and the limits of the human body. For us today, with heated rooms, electric light, and walls of concrete, it's almost unimaginable. Strip those away, and most of us wouldn't last till morning. But our ancestors did, again and again. They endured the freezing winds, the echo of predators, the starvation, the loneliness. And in doing so, they didn't just survive, they built the foundation of what it means to be human. Their struggles carved resilience into our DNA. Their fears sparked firelight, community, and imagination. So when you step into your lit-up home tonight, or scroll through your phone under the safety of modern walls, remember, every comfort you have is the echo of 1,000 nights conquered by those who came before us. Nights where giving up would have been easier, but they chose to endure. And that's the real question hidden in this thought experiment. Maybe it's not just about whether you could escape a Stone Age night. Maybe it's about realizing that you already carry the legacy of those who did. If this journey made you imagine yourself in their place, cold, alone, waiting for dawn, then take a second to reflect on the strength it took to bring humanity this far. And if you'd like to keep exploring these forgotten chapters of our past, subscribe to the channel, share this story, and stay with us. Because every night survived has another story waiting in the dark.